Want to sleep with my husband?
Oh,
$1
okay.
million. No. 200K.
What?
No, wait. So wait.
Why did you just budget yourself? Why did you give yourself? Why are you at a budget price? I don't understand.
He's value oriented. That's why.
All right, fellas, let's do our traditional intros. What are y'all having tonight to drink? Let's start off with Ernesto.
Good evening, gentlemen. Modelo for me.
Nice.
And michelada too. Mango and chili. Gotta keep it spicy.
Spicy.
Never had a flavored Modelo before.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. The mango chili, I think is my favorite one. They've got a tamarindo and chili one. That one's not that good. This one's good. This one's good. So cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. All right, Henry, what you got?
This is actually a story associated with this now, right? So last week we decided to just go Total Wine just out of the blue. We were shelter in place, but we were like, hey, you know what? We're right next to Total Wine. Why don't we just stop by, pick up a couple cases of beer? And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop by the kegerator section. And guess what? They had a keg. It says 50% off. And I'm like, oh, what is this? So I looked at it, and then it was a German beer. It was 50% off. It was a Hefeweizen. So my keg is refilled. Thank you very much. And it was 50% off. So this is a Franziskaner Hefeweizen.
Ooh.
So nice.
What's your rating on it? You drink quite a lot of beer.
So this one is actually, the initial taste is actually pretty good, but I feel like it just kind of disappears at the end. It has the initial banana scent to it, but then after you drink it, some of it has a longer lasting like weedy taste, but this one just kind of disappears. Like,
so will this keg last longer or shorter than average?
On this one, I think it will be average. So
what's that average time frame for everyone?
So my going rate for a 13.5 gallon or 50 liters for the metric people, my going rate for that is about 6 weeks. We'll be done in 6 weeks.
6 weeks. 6 weeks at 50 liters, you said?
Yeah.
So I'm like almost 10.
I can't do math.
So I was going to say almost 10 liters. You're like, what the hell? I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So
I'm trying to figure out how much he drinks per week. That's what.
So about 1.5 liter. Well, two or three of this a day.
Okay.
Okay.
You gotta stay hydrated, you know.
I think he wins.
At 4 p.m. I start drinking. So
he's well conditioned. Very well conditioned. That's
a
lot of work, brother.
Hair looks so good. It's like very hydrated.
His hair? Oh, I was complimenting on that before, pre-show, because I was like, hey, you got a haircut. He's like, yeah. Celine cut it. I was like, she faded it pretty well. She faded it pretty well.
Took her 3 times, but you know what? I'll give her some props, man. She did a good job.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. For the longest time, she called me for a couple hours there. I looked like a mushroom. Like a champignon. She called me champignon for a while, a mushroom head. But in the meantime, I'll take.
But she made you that way. That's what. She's coming to her own work. What?
It's okay, man. Hey, it's a good thing that I don't look at myself, right? I'm like, I'm stuck at home with her, so she has to look at me all day.
I see. You got it all wrong. I look at myself all day. So
self-safe of her, Oh man.
What are you drinking, Freddie?
Oh, mine's the bomb.
Mine's the bomb.
Mine's the bomb. Look. Ooh.
The bomb?
No, it's just a grenade. It's just lemon ginger tea. Sorry, guys. But it is the bomb.
7 seconds.
There you go.
This is an old little like mug that I have.
I dig that. That's really cool.
Yeah, just keeping it, man. Long days. I was like, I don't know if I can drink alcohol. I'm just like fall asleep, just pass out. Be a terrible, terrible podcast.
Ken, what are you drinking?
Okay. Sorry, I was fidgeting with the settings a little bit.
What are you drinking?
I am having a breakfast stout.
Oh,
It's a very dark beer.
Nice.
Double chocolate coffee oatmeal stout by Founders. I feel like I can chew this beer.
So it's a liquid breakfast.
is
All
it
the vitamins that I need right here.
do you have a taste? Is it like it's very dark. It's like it's Guinness Plus.
It is. Yeah.
Um,
No, I find it it's very good texture. It's very smooth. Very chocolatey.
so like milkshake.
Almost.
Which would you drink? A beer milkshake? Beer shake?
Do those exist?
I don't know. I'm just thinking, like I'm thinking aloud because this is just like evolving.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, okay, let's say you, because I know what you can have beer and ice cream. Is that right? Henry probably knows.
Sure, why not? You can have beer and anything.
So I don't know. I'm just thinking,
Right.
like, could you?
But here's something that I tried. There's this restaurant, a Japanese restaurant in San Francisco. It's on Market, and what they did was they had a machine that they imported specifically from Japan. And what it does is it will pour the beer for you, but the very top, it's going to add a semi-frozen, like a frosty foam on top of the beer. And so it actually keeps the beer temperature cooler and you can enjoy it for a longer time. That's as close as I have gotten to like a true beer milkshake. It was pretty good.
That sounds pretty interesting, especially because that just now prevents you from having to like chug your beer so fast. You can kind of go a little slower. I can actually enjoy this one. It's like still stay cool.
No, I was so new the first time I drank it because you know how like the frosted layer is floating on top, right? And I tried to tilt it back slowly, and the beer wouldn't come out. So I gave it a big like tilt, and the thing went.
Yeah. So what did you? Was this in front of the kids and all? It was like, good job, Pops. Even better.
Best people in front of.
They're like, oh, you okay? Right? Your kids would just be laughing at you. It's a little different.
They're probably used to it. Of like, yeah.
Point and laugh. Point and laugh.
All the time. I have a drinking problem. That's from the old airplane.
Yes.
Right? I have a drinking problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I think up to some point, I think the kids is going to start making fun of y'all, right? For drinking in front of them or doing little stupid things as you're getting plastered or drunk and all that.
Oh, because they haven't seen it. So what you could do is, well, I don't know about Ernesto. Look at Ernesto. I don't know about that.
Ernesto has something to say.
Look. I all I tell my boys is whatever I've gotten them custom. It's either in a can, right, a bottle, or in these jugs, right? If it's in one of those, they can't touch it, right?
Oh,
and they always ask. I'm like, they always ask, is that spicy, right? I'm like, yeah, that's Daddy's spicy drink. Don't touch it. So they know.
When do you think you'll try to introduce some alcohol to them?
Like for them to ingest?
Yeah, not just rub on their wound. I'm just like, yeah. So like,
man, I mean, I remember being, I don't know, maybe 10, 12-ish, somewhere in there, and my dad giving me a sip of his beer and hating it, man. I was like, how do you drink this? So maybe my oldest one, right? Maybe just so that he gets that flavor. But
did you I don't know. You recall the taste? Did you get did you feel it at all?
No, it was a little sip. Like it was just a flavor. Yeah.
What about you, Ken? Like what? Well, Matt,
I think it's kids.
He's trying alcohol.
Kids out 20.
So
My son, he drinks way too much. But when it comes to your question, like when is a good time? We actually had a party for both my kids, right? So the summer before they go to college, we'll have a party, and we'll introduce alcohol to them. And the purpose was, just to get them acquainted with the taste. And we have like cocktails, straight up beer, wine, hard liquor, just to get them, some experience. Because then when they go to college for the first time, they're not completely exposed to it for the first time. They'll know what to expect. And the other thing is, like I said, it's okay if you get buzz, because you want to know what that feels like in a safe space. So it's not the first time ever. And then the other thing is, this is especially true for girls. I tell my daughter this, that if we mix something with alcohol, sometimes you can't taste it, right? If they can mask it well if they use the right ingredients. So we'll make her a lemon drop, just a little bit of vodka, nice vodka. And then, like, hey, try that. You don't taste that. But then she'll start, getting the traditional Asian disease.
It's not a disease. Don't call it a disease.
Why not?
Wait, we need to unpack this. What is this? Sorry.
It's called Asian flush. It's not a disease. It's not a disease. It's not like we're wrong. Jeez.
It's not contagious.
Yes, exactly.
So for the people who don't know what Asian disease is, or the Asian flush is basically, Asians typically don't have this specific enzyme which will break down alcohol. So what happens as soon as they drink a sip of any alcohol, their whole entire face or body turns red.
Like you react instantly to alcohol. That's why.
Really?
That's why. It's not that you don't have it; it's that you lack the high number of. Some people will not have it, but like
I don't have it.
So like if you do have it, like the enzymes break down the alcohol so that it actually metabolizes and everything. But if you don't, it's like you're cheap date.
Actually, a lot of yeah.
Wait, so then you do get
half a beer like
faster.
right now. So like, okay, for instance, when I was younger, I drank quite a bit, and then I increased my tolerance quite a bit. And then I stopped drinking, as I got. And then now, like half a beer, I could feel it. Half a beer, like, and I'm not like a little person. So just a half a beer, like I can feel it already. And that's why I was like, sometimes when I'm too tired, I can't drink at all, because I'll just like literally pass out, because the alcohol will overtake you faster than you can even say anything. So that's why I was like wondering when you might introduce, because that's what my dad was always thinking about me, because my mom is very much like this, where she just drinks like maybe 2 sips and she's like giddy, her face is all red. She's like, life of the party. It was like, you were 2 sips in. But she's also like 4'11", so I don't know. You just do the math. And so I think when my dad knew that when we were young, he's like, okay, I'm gonna start giving you alcohol. He's like, because my dad worked as a banquet manager at Empress of China in San Francisco for forever. So as long as I knew him for it. And so anyways, he always has to deal with alcohol. He drinks, he can drink alcohol like nobody. And I was like, good job. But he was like, okay, here's a beer. You can drink it. You can drink some if you like. You can taste it. So make sure you know what it tastes like, because later on when you're working, you're going to have to go to functions, and you're going to have to be like, you're still going to have to hold that glass of wine and just like sip it, or hold on, and so you know what it tastes like and know how to act, right? And so even though, and part of it was because he sees it all the time. He's at these parties, at these functions. Right. He's like, yeah, these dignitaries and everything else, you have to at least like do a little bit of effort. It's something, it's like, even if you're not going to drink it all, or, you got to know what it tastes like. He doesn't want you to like, oh, you're not going to want to puke if you just like, it touches your lips, right? So it's just all these little things. And I didn't really notice about the Asian flush thing until later on in college. So, and then I learned about it.
Freddie, there's a trick for all the Asians out there.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna ask Ken. I was gonna ask Ken. The other thing was like, did you? So I learned all these tricks later on in life. But I saw the Fresh Off the Boat episode where they were talking about when these guys were in college, they actually like learned like techniques to kind of hide it or to because it's around us all Asians, we all it's no big deal. Around other cultures, everyone will always ask you, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Is something wrong with you?" Because you will like you can see the color of my skin. It'll be significantly red or even go like darker shades because the alcohol. There's no way for me to burn that. Like I have to physically burn it off. I can't. So my body doesn't do it.
In what episode are we gonna test that? I'm just saying it's
a
little teaser.
We'll figure out.
So there's a way, by the way, there's an easy way actually to go around that. So you can get it over the counter. It's called Pepsid AC, right? And you can just take that and you wouldn't get rid of the Asian flush because embedded in there is a specific enzyme that will help you break down alcohol.
Unless you keep drinking past that, and then you're kind of screwed.
That's a little bit different.
There you go.
Take one Pepsi every hour or every 6 cocktails.
But but again, it's because your body is like trying to push it out really fast too. Your body reacts all different ways, and so some people will get hives. You'll see my scars like actually visibly start to show up, like where I got like stitches or wherever, just because now your blood color's different in your skin, right. Like your flesh.
You mean your war injuries, right?
No, none of those. Don't say it that way. I'm not. This is not. Don't. That's not me at all. It just sounds
cooler.
No, it's not. It's not, Ken. I'm not a hero. Don't say it like that. I have friends that have done a lot worse or been and not come back. So it's not. These are self-inflicted. Like I just fell off my bike.
Oh, I got plenty of those, man. So we actually have a topic today I want to roll us into. Last time we talked about Indecent Proposal. Okay. And I told my wife about the topic. She actually listened to the episode last time. And she says, you know what you guys should talk about next time? Flip it around. What if I get to make the deal with Robert Redford?
Wait.
Want to sleep with my husband?
Oh, okay.
$1 million. No. $200K.
What?
No, wait. So wait.
Why did you just budget yourself? Why did you give yourself? Why are you at a budget price? I don't understand.
He's value oriented. That's why.
Hey, it's called you got to hook.
He's looking for volume.
That's really right? You go with the base model, then you work on the options, work yourself up.
Yeah, he's at volume, quantity over quality.
That still holds.
You have to make your numbers up somehow. It was $1 million, man. Don't discount yourself. I value $1 million. Ken, I offer you $1 million with you.
We're gonna be that good in the bedroom. $1 million. You got it, Freddie. So really attractive looking millionaire offers your wife $1 million to spend an evening with you.
Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Let me rewind this 1 sec. Your significant other, is the one being propositioned, and you're the one just sitting there, right? You're the Woody Harrelson.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I understand the scenario. Go.
So, I know we gave our reactions and then our thoughts on that proposition last time, right, per the movie. But how does that change? Like, honestly, how do you feel about that? It kind of catches you off guard, right? And makes you take a half a step back. Oh, Henry's like, oh, I thought
No,
about it.
I'm like, whatever.
Same strategy for him.
The same exact strategy. I trust my wife, and then she just go, let's do it. Whatever.
You don't think beyond that?
No, because I mean, it's like, remember, we're spending a night. It didn't necessarily have to have sex or anything, right? Remember we talked about this.
In the movie, they don't the first night.
Correct.
If I recall correctly, it's that he does wow her to hell and then what happens is the husband does not trust her anymore, even though she did nothing.
Correct.
And then she runs away from him to the other person because, again, it was that he no longer trusted her. Like, even though she did nothing wrong. Yes. I think that's how the movie goes. We might have to go look at Wikipedia, but I think that's how it goes because that's the interesting twist of the actual movie. Because she doesn't actually sleep with him the first night. Right?
Okay, right. But in this situation, I don't think that will happen because unless you haven't been honest with yourself or your wife. So, well, okay, Freddie, you're giving me a look. Why?
No. I was like, no, go ahead. I was trying to wait. I was waiting for the rest of it to spell out.
I just wanted to see like what your reaction is to this proposition, right? Being in control and everything we said last time. I think Henry brought it up that we let the wife make the decision. Now you are in the driver's seat. You get to make the decision.
Oh.
Okay.
That's even easier in terms of conversation-wise.
Okay.
She can negotiate as high as she wants, and guess what? I get to execute, which means I get to execute however I want.
Yeah, you're like 5 steps ahead of me.
I like how, dude, we're playing checkers. What's that thing? We're playing checkers. He's playing chess. We're for
get to the chase, man.
3D
chess.
So your Demi Moore is the new scenario, is what we're saying.
No, we are Demi Moore. That's what she said. He said.
Yeah, that's so Henry, you're Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Do you give it up night one?
No, you're like Daniel Moore. Okay.
Or do you wait for like renegotiations for like future opportunities and then be like, okay, now we're comfortable with it, or I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm not gonna put you in that box.
No. I'll pass the question to Ernesto, what he's thinking, because you can tell his brain's firing.
I know, he's really.
And then I'm trying to figure out
what are the questions that you have.
Normal.
You seem to have a lot of things.
Processing it.
Yeah, you seem to have like.
There's 2 things. There's
the consequences. What it means, short term and long term. Meanwhile, Henry, you're like, I'm already there. I'm at the finish line.
There's 2 things happening that I'm thinking about. First, because I haven't seen the movie, I have no idea what the scenario is again, right? And you just flipped it on me. I didn't know what it was last time. Now I'm definitely lost. Secondly, I don't think anybody would propose to try to pay any money to spend any time with me.
No. So easy. Okay. No, imagine this, Ernesto. It's easy. Okay, I'll put it into today's world, right?
Go.
So let's just say Elon Musk will offer you $10 million for your wife to decide if he gets to sleep with you or not. Or to spend a night. To spend a night.
My wife would tell me the wool was 10 million. No, 10 million.
No. Inflation, people. Inflation.
Wait, didn't we say it was 1.8?
Right?
Yeah, it was 1.8.
Okay, fine. Yeah. $1.8 million to spend an evening with you.
Elon Musk?
Elon Musk.
No.
That's a no?
That's a hard no.
5 mil. 5
Oh,
mil.
5 mil.
No,
Really has a hot streak. 5 mil?
5 mil.
No.
Remember, he's number 1, number 2 richest person in the world now.
Yeah, but that's like so here, think of it this way. To me, then that would just kind of be insulting because it's a very tiny minuscule of what like he actually makes. And so it's like, it's just like throwaway money at 5 mil. So it's like proportional. I mean, you're saying he's the richest person. If he's the richest person, if it's like 1% of his worth, like, that's more, you know what I mean? 10 mil is like, or, 5 mil is like, I
think that's
blew my news on it.
No, that's the difference. It's quite, because I don't know about you, but $5 million is a lot of money to me.
True. I'm just thinking like,
But that's what the scenario was, right? When Robert Redford was a very wealthy off. We don't know what his worth is. He has a yacht, right?
Mhm.
So he's equivalent like Elon Musk, right? He comes along and say, hey, I'll give you $2 million to have an evening.
So let me finish by asking Ernesto. It doesn't seem like you're looking for any kind of target number to have you change your mind. Is that how you're approaching this?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's a number. At least for me, right? Like I don't know. I think. Sorry, this is gonna sound super corny, right? But I think Freddie turned right around. I think I don't know. The relationship that I've got with my wife, it's the value, right? The value to, what is it? The cost benefit analysis, right?
Are you going ROI?
ROI.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure.
Whoa.
Okay, no,
But I get it.
I can break that easily. Actually, if you think about it, right? So you don't have to worry about your living expenses ever again. You can retire.
I could
just for one night.
Probably alone.
No, just for one night, and you get to you and your family get to be set. I mean, you guys seriously think about this? It's only one night, though.
Yeah,
8 hours.
So when I think of it in that manner, it's kind of like, would you sacrifice one day of your life so that your family's set up for the rest of theirs?
Right. Exactly.
So Henry, I love how Henry does this. What he does, he took out all morality. Really, he took out part of the ethical dilemma of it, of like, well, let's say it doesn't have to be bad. It's that you just have to sacrifice one night, but you don't know what's going to happen at the end of that night.
Correct.
I think that's probably the other part, because it has to be a huge risk. So it's like, where are you going? Iraq for one night with, that type of thing. It just,
you could be robbing a bank.
Right. You have to rob a bank in that day. You're like, but if you just have to survive that day. But for at the end of the day, then your rest of family is taken care of. So now the scenario, that's an interesting.
Yeah, but that's I think that's a different scenario.
No, it's not. It's the same. It's actually the same.
No, because in the scenario we're talking about, right? It's you're gonna spend that evening with that person, right? On the other one, it's a wider unknown variable.
Even worse.
Right. It could be worse. It could be worse, but it could also be a trip to Disneyland, right? If
more than likely, you are not going to Disneyland if your family's taken care of for the rest of their lives. Unless you are fighting zombies through Disneyland, but I'm just like, I'm gonna put that out there.
We don't know. Elon might be a big fan of Disneyland, right?
That's true.
He may be a big fan of zombies.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. These are all possible.
But here's the thing.
What Henry is saying is this, right? That any man wanting to provide for his family, the future for family, the kids, all of that. It's a question of how hard you're willing to work, what you're willing to do to ensure that.
Yes,
but it's tough. But it's so now you're balancing on, like, just because you need to do for them, does the end justify the means?
Yes, and I would add to that you're adding the variable of uncertainty.
Ooh,
right?
Sorry. Okay.
I think Ken, you were saying, are you willing to work for it? Right. That to me is a little bit different than leaving it all up to chance. Right. Am I willing to work for it? Yeah, for sure. 100% sacrifices, all that stuff. Right. But to leave it up to chance, that I don't know.
That becomes a little more difficult. But we all know that hard work helps your chances, right? Like, it improves your chances of getting to where you want, right? Because there is always luck, some sort of luck involved in where you want to be and where you want to do. But hard work kind of helps close the gap, right? And makes it more tenable or easier for you to get there, right? But if you don't do hard work, like you said, I do believe what Ernesto said, if it's up to chance, it's completely up to chance. Anything like that means the way bad could happen too.
But this is actually what's interesting, right? If you take away the chance, right? Because if you just have to survive through the next 24 hours, right? Or 16 hours, whatever you want to call it, then you'll be set for life.
Purge.
Right? I mean, you just have to go through that.
Completely puts it in a different perspective.
Well, it is. I mean, like it is a. I thought when he said it, I was like, oh, that was an interesting change, because let's say it isn't to sleep with someone, but it is to kill someone, right? Harm someone. What if it is to do something that you don't feel is right, it is against your beliefs?
Like vote for Trump. Oh, sorry.
Dude, that was old news. It's all right. But yeah, it's an interesting one, because that's what makes it more as an ethical dilemma, right? Like, yes, the purpose of what you're trying to do is for the ends of good, right? Like, you're trying to provide, you're trying to sacrifice, but is stealing the way to go? Because technically, you're taking from someone else. You're taking away the food from someone else, right? You're taking away the values from them. Is that the way to go about it? Probably not. If you had to, maybe, temporarily, but how do you make amends? You have to, right. There's a lot of stuff in there that we're not looking at that is very tough, that, it's like a lot of people that are unfortunate don't have the ability to have the same choices we do. Like, I think we have a wider range of choices, right? So
I think it comes to a couple of different areas here. I think that's kind of interesting to me, right? One is we're kind of defining, or we're trying to communicate our definition of where our boundaries are, right? What are we willing to do to really get that ROI? In this case, it's like return on intercourse. What's that value they're looking for?
Wow.
That was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
So I think for each of us, we have different definitions of what that is. So between, like, stealing or having sex, all of those are defined by our own morals and what we're willing to do. So do you guys have, like, areas that you're like, you absolutely will not even consider, right? Like, I know Henry was willing to go 100% in, $10 million, just do it. But Henry, is there something that you would just immediately say, hell no, no way, I wouldn't do it for any amount of money?
No, I think a lot of stuff has to do with, justify the means, right? And I think you guys said it fairly much better than I do. I don't know what's the number out there, by the way. Majority of the gay porn stars, they're actually not gay. They actually just pay to be gay. It's above like 50%, by the way. I know that. I read that somewhere in one of the papers I've seen.
Is that female?
Pornhub statistics.
I think Pornhub informatics or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
They put out, they have a whole info, like, they're crazy. They have so much metrics on people. It's so crazy.
It's incredible what's information's on Pornhub. Okay.
Anyways,
I mean, people should really look at it.
Go back, Henry. Sorry, my bad.
Analytics API, guys, hit that thing.
Go.
It's there, man. I'm telling you. I've been saying this forever, people. But
but Henry, I want to
go back to your.
You were saying that the porn stars is that both male and female? The
statistics is for male.
Oh,
the statistics I'm quoting is for male. I mean, most of the male gay porn stars are paid to be gay. If you ask them, are they gay? The answer is no. They're doing it for financial reasons.
Wow.
Okay. So I think it really comes down to really the situation. I mean, not situation. What is that dollar amount? The answer is I really don't know. But it comes down to the situation people are under, right? And like right now, I think that we are all fairly comfortable. I can see we all live in nice houses, right? Do we really need to go down that route? The answer is probably not. But if you imagine that we're in a different situation, then it's a very different conversation we will have.
Have you all seen that See Dick and Jane. Have you seen that one? That's Tia Leone and Jim Carrey, and they're like, they're like at the height of the boom, and then the market drops or whatever, and then they have no money, and so they live in a nice suburban area, have all this money and everything, and then all of a sudden they have nothing. Like over the course of months, they just lose everything, just don't have anything left, and so they contemplate. I mean, it's a comedy, so they go about it terrible ways, but they contemplate like, we need money to pay for like mortgage. Where are we gonna get that money? Oh, we gotta go. I guess we go rob 7-Eleven. They don't even know how to rob a 7-Eleven, but it's like, where else are you gonna get that money, right? Everyone, all your loans are extended. Everything's like tapped out. You can't get anywhere. So yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
I did a quick lookup. So that's Fun with Dick and Jane.
There you go.
It's a movie from 2005.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you guys this. This is like the boundaries, the lines you're willing to draw. I know we talked about the money side, but this may be a spoiler alert on the original movie for Indecent Proposal. But even if the couple agree to do it together, right? And to say, this is worth it. Go rah, go do it, honey. The reality is it has an impact on the relationship.
Oh, of course.
And it's a question of, is the risk of rupturing and destabilizing that relationship, which for me personally is core of my life, right? If that relationship itself is unstable, I don't feel like I have a good foundation to do anything else with. So the question is that worth it? Because the reality is, no matter how much money is involved and how sexy Elon is, right, after 10 p.m., is it worth it to risk that foundation I've built with my wife and my kids?
It's interesting. Henry has a inquisitive look.
No, I think it really all come down to, so if you imagine, if we all don't, absolutely hate our jobs today, right, are looking a way out and looking for a way for making a quick buck, right, I think that we will think twice when somebody make that proposal to us. Okay. But I think we're all in the positions and situations. And I think if you actually look at the original Indecent Proposal movie, in the beginning, they were all talking about they were late on bills, on rent, and all that stuff. That's one of the reasons why the movie became very interesting, because initially everybody thought about, oh my God, it's just about this one night stand. But then actually the movie evolved is about the post relationship. The question is about that. So, and I think Ken, you brought a very good point. It's about, people need to understand what is the relationship that people are willing to give up or willing to sacrifice, or because, based on what you're saying, severing the family relationship is really, really high bar, right? It almost nothing can touch it at this point, right? So, and I think that's kind of true for all of us.
I would say so, right? Because I've spent, I've been with my wife years being married, right?
Oh,
and
wait, how long? How long?
What's that?
How
14.
long? 14.
14.
Wow.
And then I think we were going out before that for like 6 years, right? So
20.
We've been together. Yeah, we've been together for a while.
Oh, Ernesto, I have to say, you look hella young. So you guys got married when you were like 12?
No, we were
14.
You
got married when 12.
Young when we got married.
Okay.
Very young. You were very young?
We were very young. We were 20.
That's not young. You just in the second decade. You're cool.
It was cool.
No, you're in the 20s.
Right, like I
sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
we're good.
Sorry.
You're right, but I spent like all this time building the relationship, and then the kids, and I think, Henry, you're right. It's really and then just morally and ethically, at least to me, it just it's not worth it, I think.
Now, I'm going to throw Henry's other question in there, right? Instead of the high bar, this is like lowering the threshold, which is like your own family's finances. Because at some point, if your family is in dire need, right? If you're impoverished or you're getting hit with some bills that's going to impact the same foundation that you're trying to preserve, but it's coming from the financial side. Does that also start to change your perspective on the deal?
So like the type of stressor to the foundation is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because like one of it you're saying is a relationship, another was monetary. I don't know. You could say it could be a lot of different ones. That's pretty interesting. But I don't know. It is very tough. So when you hit rock bottom, it is not easy. So when I lived in Southern California, I had a house. I had bought a house with my buddy. We paid, I don't know, $425, $430, something like that. Beautiful house, 2,500 square feet, plenty of land. We put in a lot of work ourselves. We bought it because we worked construction, and our workplace was just like across the freeway, so it was just easy for us. Kind of a smart decision rather than try to have whatever. And then, what happened? The bottom of the real estate fell out. So I went from I think it was like 2006 we had a house, and then 2008 was when I got laid off, and then 2009 is when we actually lost the house. It went from 429, and then at the time we left the house, I think it was like at 200 maybe. Ouch. And there were 15 homes down the block, all with for sale signs. So like, even if I wanted to try to recoup and sell, I got to battle everyone else for a short sale to try to like save my own credit, whatever. No job, no nothing. Yeah. It's just like, so when you're at that point, you may think differently of like what you're going to do, how you're going to do, like what jobs can you take on, just anything you can do to try to like get back on your feet. I'm lucky because I have a strong family structure. Like you all said, it's like, I'm very fortunate that my family structure and friends and everything else are very kind and help me, along the way. But, there's a lot of lessons in there in itself, but it's really tough. You really think about what you do. I mean, you all ask like, oh, you were a bouncer? Yeah, dude, I was a bouncer at once because I had to get paid cash under the table because what job could I find? I'm battling everyone else, looking for the same type of job that I can do, and also looking for different locales, right? It was not easy. So, you do what you kind of have to do sometimes.
So I think Ken, I think you asked a very logical question in terms of make it with a twist. So I'm going to do a double twist on this. Here it comes.
I don't know if I'm ready for this. Hang on.
I noticed everybody's taking a swig. I'm out, but
yeah.
So would you do a something for one night where your family will be set, but you don't have to tell your family about it?
You get to take that one to the grave, no matter what it is.
It could be, right? I mean, you say you come back, and all of a sudden it's like, I don't know, they just add a whole bunch of zeros behind my bank account.
I hit the lottery.
It's like Indecent Proposal 2.
With a double twist, see? That's why it's 2.
Man, that really complicates it.
It is. I mean, of all things, so 3 of you guys of all things knows this about me. I don't ever answer what if questions because just to me it's just really stupid. It's a waste of my brain power. But since we're playing along this game, that's the reason why I'm saying this now.
I kowtow to your brain power.
Sure.
Ken, what are you thinking?
So I think it comes down to one thing. It comes back still, I think, to the same ideas that as a man, as a husband, father, you want to provide for the family. So you can definitely check that box. But you have to think and project out long term. Even if you don't have to tell your wife or the family, there's going to be leakage. Human beings are terrible, right, at managing this stuff. Over time, shit's going to happen. This could be like, we're writing the script for Indecent Proposal 2. She doesn't
three now.
Which is that the problem is, and you're going to know every day. So how strong are you up here at being able to process it, be okay with it?
So I'm going to stop you right there because I noticed you changed your pronoun there. Because the question was to you. You used the word.
He flipped it on you.
Yes,
he flipped it on you.
You're trying to say we, and I'm like us, or I'm like, wait a minute, no, time out. We're talking about. The question was to you, Ernesto, to you, Freddie, right? I mean, I'm not saying you should. So the answer should be I blank, right? I just want to be clear about that,
guys. Hold my hand, please.
I can answer this one very well. I plead the fifth.
Is that allowed? I don't think
it's
allowed, Freddie.
Why? Why not? I mean, I'll give it to him.
Okay. Jeez.
It's an interesting question because I think we all come from different. Even from different where our background is. I mean, for instance, both of you say that you have like family at the top of your mind, and your kids, right? I was like, well, I don't know if I don't have kids, so they're not. That's not at the top of my mind all the time. I don't know. It's an interesting scenario. I don't know. Let's see. What would I do if I?
Somebody sandbagging.
The reason I say that is because let's see. Kathleen and I met later in our lives, and so although there's much that we know about each other, I'm sure there's a lot we don't know about each other as well. And so I am the type of person where I will not press you on what you do not want to necessarily tell me, because if you're not comfortable with it for whatever reason, you may not just be comfortable with telling. Like, I'm the closest. She and I are the closest persons to each other. Period. And that's not it. But sometimes it's like, maybe it's not relevant, or maybe it might hurt the other person when it never involved them. So you don't know that, and you don't know how that's going to react until you actually do it. And then the worms are out of the can. You can't put them back. So then you have, so like it could be anything. Like, I don't know how many boyfriends she had before me. I've never asked. I don't care. I don't care to ask because it doesn't involve me. It is not that's not fair, right? So if she told me, I can't help if my emotions change, right? And she can't. Like, so how is that fair to either of us? You know,
it's a past life. Nobody you can't change. There's no Back to the Future. There's no
but like I said, emotion, right? Like you just can't have your emotion because it's like, oh, I know this person for so long. I wish it's like,
yep.
I'd known them back then, but it's like, it's just could be a weird feeling. So that's why I was like, it's a very complex question, because even now, there's things that it's okay. Yeah. We are two adults, and I'm lucky that she has allowed me and to be in her life, and we are together, and so it's great. But there are things that's her, and there's things that's me. So I can't, I don't know.
So because I noticed the two people of the family are the one that's kind of being really quiet. So I'll jump on the same boat with Freddie here.
No.
No, I'll jump on the boat with same Freddie. No, I think I'm very fortunate and similar to Freddie here that Celine's very independent. that something happens, whatever it is, right? She will respect me of saying, hey, you know what, that's your life and that's what's going on, right? And she knows she will indirectly trust me to say, I must have made that decision because of some factor that happened. So where I can come back and say, hey, there's a whole bunch of zeros being in our bank account.
Two of you are super lucky. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy Ernesto a couple of more minutes. Here is my bottom line. I think, Freddie, the way you put your point helped me kind of process it a little bit more. So I think it comes down to this. If I am going to commit to something like this, I'm going to do one thing that'll secure my family's future. I have to be okay with carrying that to the grave in case that it risks coming back and somehow fracturing that platform, the stability that I was talking about. But knowing my own personality, it's going to come out. So my answer is, I'm sorry, I don't think I can do it unless I'm actually okay with telling my family at some point in the future that, I hung out with Elon for a hot, steamy night. It was okay.
It was okay. All right, I'll bring the tail. I'll bring it in. I think there's a couple things that we're missing out of this thing. Well, actually, one main thing. I think nowadays it's a little bit more difficult to try to hide things. I think, right, because of these things, right? Like, I share my location with my wife all day, right, so that she knows where I'm at, right, and where I'm going, so on and so forth. Mostly for safety, but right, I mean, she could just look on the map and she'll find me. And again, nothing to hide. It right, it's easier that way. So that's the first thing, right? Like, I think I would be able to hold something in, but if it's morally heavy, I don't know if I could, right? I just don't think I could, right? What's that line? I don't know, right? Like, I don't want to find out. That's the other thing too, right? So I think I would have to pass on the offer.
I have two things. One, I thought I was the only one sharing my location with the wife. So thank you, Ernesto. I don't feel so alone anymore. Henry used to make fun of me about something like this all the time when we used to go to Kentucky all the time. But yeah, that's a different story for another day. Yeah. The second thing I want to throw out there. So I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. We've been talking about like, oh, what will we do? What are the lines? Is something really heavy. But let me lighten that up. Instead of a night with Elon or whatever that is, would you be a stripper? A man's stripper? Is that crossing the line for you? Or would you not even think about it and go, oh, secure the future of my family financially and all of that? Yeah, I'll dance on a pole.
That was easy. That's, to me, it's done and done. What's a poll? Let me know. Tell me what you show up.
I actually think that is exact. It's what you're asking is the same thing. What you're asking for one night, because you know what happens. Like, they don't take it easy on strippers. People don't just.
They grab, okay?
I mean, like, technically, like, but the whole thing is like, it technically, like, stripping and everything else. How is that not immoral? Immoral, or whatever it is.
Well,
how's that immoral?
The situations that we brought up tonight, it's less realistic if we talk about Elon or Robert Redford, right? But if you just have to strip for a while to make that happen, that's actually real in a lot of situations. People do that because they're in a financial bind. That's a thing. So I think what I'm asking is like, I'm sure lots of people already have gone through this, whereas nobody's had to worry about Elon, right, for a night. Well, actually, we don't know that, but whatever. I think stripping is one of those things where, one, if my kids actually found out, they'll crack up because they know I can't dance. But the other thing is like, it's more of a norm, I guess, is socially.
Well, okay, I'm gonna throw you a twist then. What if one of your kids came to you and said that then? Because you're saying it's a socially norm. I'm just.
No.
This is a hard curveball because I was like, this is not gonna be easy one, Ken. You backed yourself in this corner. You're like, I was like, what if it's one of your kids? What if Matt was like, I have to do this. But he tells you beforehand. I mean, like,
let's just say that. This is be clear. Matt went out and became a stripper because otherwise we would lose the house. We would lose everything we own.
Sure.
No, but wait a minute, because I think I'm having a little trouble right now. I feel as though.
Can you imagine me dancing on a pole? Come on.
Yes, I can. I will give you money. I will tip you. I will tip you if you dance on a pole for me. Yeah, for sure.
No. I feel like we're demonizing some of the professions.
I don't mean to. Sorry.
No, we're demonizing a lot of professions. Strippers are not bad. Prostitutes are not bad. Gigolos are not bad. I want to be clear about that, right? I mean, if I could, I would legalize
another profession. It's just another profession,
right? And
I'm not implying that everybody who goes into stripping was caught in the same situation we were talking about, right?
Sure.
Financially strapped and no other. I'm not talking about that. I apologize. Thank you, Henry, for clearing that up because we're a podcast for all. No, it's something that's the great thing about being where we are, right? In 2021 and in the US, there is freedom of choice, and that's great. But I think in this situation, we're talking about where your choices are limited and you do what you need to do.
Sure. No, so I think here's the thing, right? So if my niece or nephews, they decide to go to stripping or something that's a little bit less, I guess, liked in the family, I guess, professional wise. I mean, the question always comes back down to what is the plan, right? How long are you going to do this? Because you cannot be you're not going to be an 80-year-old stripper, okay?
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
Those are pretty rare,
right? So the question will be, what is the plan, right? You cannot do this for X amount of time, right? You got to figure out a way. If you're saying I'm just doing stripping just so I can put myself through school, then okay, done. Keep on doing it, right? But then, of course, in the background, I would say, as an uncle, as a family member, going to go, okay, you know what? What can I do to help you accelerate that so you don't have to be a stripper?
Yeah, I think hardship is tough. But when you talk about hardship, it's when you have a hardship, you can go to great lengths, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's different if you're like out of the blue, I need a job, and then just you're like, Kevin's a stripper now. Right. But these are, I don't know, people just, it's weird, because when you think about it, and you're talking about the professions being like good or bad, I don't know, it's just another profession, right? Like, I think it's just the lens that you have to look at what you do.
Yeah, that's true.
You kind of got to you got to get it done. Like, no matter what, you just got to get it done, right? You got to get done so you can get up the next day and go live in your house, and then go eat your food, and then go do it again, right? It's called living. You gotta figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah, I think to answer Ken's question, first, don't know how to dance, so that would be horrible. Secondly, no one's gonna pay to watch what's under this shirt at all, right? So it's a net negative, so hard pass on me.
You're morally good. What is going on here?
I know, but he drinks like a fish. I don't get it. He drinks like a fish, but more like it's like
you're welcome.
Some people just drink to dull the pain, but he just drinks to keep on drinking.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
So Ernesto, FYI, I'm getting some of the Asian flesh. This is what it looks like over time.
Okay.
I would say that because this beer is pretty strong, if I have a Hefeweizen, you probably wouldn't notice, but this is pretty strong. And here we go. This
What is that? 6, 7 ABV?
Let's see.
Dun, dun, dun.
12, 14.
Oh, it's 8.3. Shit.
Ooh.
Good job.
Tens.
Wow.
I'm a wuss.
I like to buy the ones that are like at like 12 or 13. They're like called the devil or whatever. And then you just drink it. You'd be like, well, I just needed one for the rest of the night. See you all later.
Those scare me. The you know, the labels are just terrifying on some of those.
It's kind of like drinking wine. I mean, you know, you just gotta sip it slowly.
When you drink more.
Yeah.
What's that? You'll drink it faster?
Yeah, because it's a beer, right? You don't sip. Nobody sips beer, man.
I don't know. The Germans might be mad if you chug their Hefeweizen.
No, they just pour you more, so don't worry about that.
It's quantity and quality.
No, so I mean,
That's true.
So this is actually my theory. Actually, coming back from Europe and being back here, that's the reason everybody here loves. Oh, I love IPAs. I love IPAs. And then if you really think about it, you ask them, say, why do you like the IPAs? And then everybody just came and say because they get them drunk faster. At least that's a lot of people just give me that answer. Mm-hmm. And I sit there and go, then that's not the joy of drinking.
Isn't that supposed to be like the bitterness taste or whatever? Some people have
the hops, the hoppiness, and this and that.
I actually like the smell. I like the floral scents.
Let's see.
You guys just drink like, Budweiser. No, I'm kidding. The king of beers.
I have to tell you. Okay, so I've been binging Cobra Kai on Netflix. Okay, so if you love Karate Kid, all right, you might be into this. I'll have to warn you though. It's kind of like your typical WB type of teen drama shows, but it's all original cast from the Karate Kid movies. So you're into that.
Sorry, I like Buffy. I like Buffy the Vampire Slayer with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say minus the one Pat Morita. R.I.P.
But the reason why I bring that up is Johnny, right? The original bully in the movies. He's in this, and he drinks these Coors beer all the time. Like every freaking episode, he's drinking these.
They get
Coors
sponsored
beer.
by Coors.
I'm like, oh yeah. So
it's like water because it's almost like water, to tell you the truth. So it's very easy to drink and it'll get you drunk. Yeah. But it's not like a very strong flavor either way. So you can just keep drinking it. I have friends do that because they could just like drink it all day. So
the interesting is it's a glass bottle. It's like a fatter grip, and it's got a really short neck. So it looks like a Robitussin bottle. You're like down cold medicine.
People do drink that just to get drunk and get high. So
yeah.
Have you heard about the suppository? You can just like dip the alcohol and then shut up your keister and then poof, you're a drunk. Like
yeah.
One of the justices in our Supreme Court.
Ernesto, would you? She's like, he's already like, nope. It goes this way. It goes this way. It works this way. This is why I enjoy it. I will drink plenty of it.
Right.
I don't need to fast track it.
Yeah, I'll say
if Elon normal. Said 25 million.
Suppository beer.
Hey, it's a whole night, man. You got time.
25 mil?
Ooh, he's
so
mil.
Hey, who won the ticket for the 800 million whatever? By the way,
somebody in Michigan purchased at a Kroger's.
Wow, one person.
One ticket. Ticket. No, it's one ticket. We just know it's one ticket.
Okay, sorry, one ticket. Yeah, it could be a group, but I'm just saying that's only one ticket, which is amazing. Yeah. For 800, is it almost 800 million?
That's life changing.
Shit.
That's life changing. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Timma is life changing.
What are you talking about, man? If it just 1
5 million, you just said it. 5 million is life changing.
1 million is life changing. Are you kidding me?
1.8.
1.8 million is life changing. Right?
I love the consistency between the episodes. I gotta say, it's just right. It's a way to keep our listeners going.
Unplanned. What did y'all talk about?
No,
Indecent
what are you
Proposal for 12.
What are you talking about? We have good writers. They all are connected somehow.
Was it?
Uh-huh.
Man.
Maybe the last episode in the year, there's going to be a twist. Well, we had like 3 tonight. What am I talking about?
Oh yeah,
We threw like 2 or 3 curveballs tonight. So come on.
I'm impressed. We're giving the ending away, guys. We got to save some for later.
What? We'll just pick a different moral dilemma for you.
Don't worry. I'm sure there'll be more coming.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll make it very difficult for you.
Yeah. Hey, just for our audience, right? We're always full of surprises. You never know where we're going to take you because we don't know. It happens.
Sure.
All right, fellas. It's that time of the evening again. I got to run off and read some comments, count our subscribers.